Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the Indianapolis Colts and determining why I think they can make the playoffs in 2021. But before we get into that topic, question for those of you viewing. The NFL schedules just got released, so I want to hear your predictions on what you think the Colts record will be in 2021. Comment it down below and I reveal what I think their record will be at the end of the video. We're getting straight into it. This Colts team, the elephant in the room is obviously going to be dependent upon how does Carson Wentz do? They got Philip Rivers last year, and of course they didn't go far in the playoffs, but they had a quarterback that could at least get the job done and make them a successful winning team. Can Carson Wentz do the same thing? And there's a lot of speculation around Carson Wentz. Personally, I'm very bullish on this Colts team. I like them a lot this year. I think they'll win the division this year, but I do understand the argument people had. I mean, if Carson Wentz was still good, the Eagles wouldn't have traded him away. He had an awful year last year, the worst year he's had, but to me, he's going from a franchise that kind of gave up on him to a franchise that is investing everything in him. Looking at the last time Carson Wentz was at his peak level was in 2017 when, of course, Nick Foles took over, but before he got hurt, Carson Wentz was on a MVP run. And who was the Eagles offensive coordinator at the time? It was Frank Reich. Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl. Frank Reich leaves and become the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz is never the same, but now Carson Wentz is going back with his pal Frank Reich, and maybe Frank Reich can revamp Carson Wentz, turn his career around, and all of a sudden this guy could be a comeback player of the year. And just even outside of that, the entire situation Carson Wentz is going from is an absolute upgrade. He's getting a huge upgrade at offensive line. The backfield is one of the best in the NFL between emerging Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, Marlon Mack. That is a great backfield when you consider all three running backs. Looking at the receiving core, it's not stout, it's not amazing, it's not great but it does have some talent. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., hopefully he'll take a step up. Zach Pascal, reliable Jack Doyle. And it's not, I think it's a little upgrade from the Eagles. If anything, it's better, but it's not like this huge thing that'll change his game. But I think the protection, Frank Reich, and the backfield he can rely on will really help Carson Wentz's game. In Philadelphia, he had Zach Ertz, who doesn't seem to be really committed to the Eagles anymore. Deshaun Jackson, who's always hurt. Alshon Jeffrey, who's got butterfingers. And he was relying on Dallas Goedert, a tight end number 2, to really step up. It just didn't happen. Jalen Reagor was kind of a bust for him last year. I think T.Y. Hilton, Pascal, Pittman, and Doyle are an upgrade. He's got a really good defense to rely on. Eagles did have talent in Fletcher Cox. They had Darius Slay, but now he's got Xavier Rhodes, Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner. They drafted Kwity Paye. I'm a big fan of this front seven and of the pass rush. And if this Colts team decides to bring back Justin Houston, this is going to be a Colts team that is going to be a team that really focuses on defense, and that's going to win them games. And Carson Wentz, all he has to do is become a game manager. I'm not saying he is one, but if he has a top 5 defense in the league and a great running game, that's all he needs to be, and that is a great thing when you don't need your quarterback to go out there and put up 45 points in order to win. That is a good thing. Again, I like this Colts team a lot. They have a good O-line. Like I said, they got Eric Fisher. That was a decent pickup in free agency. We know how good Quentin Nelson is. This is a great Colts team. My only concern is, of course, the schedule. Our first 5 games, I'm going to read them off. It's Seahawks, Rams, Titans, Dolphins, Ravens. Those are 5 potential playoff teams right out the gate that the Colts are going to come out of. Again, Seahawks, Rams, Titans, Dolphins, Ravens. If you could get past those 5 games and then the 6 games Texans, but if you get past those first 5 games at 3-2, that is an absolute win in my opinion. Just the Seahawks and Wilson's always going to be tough. Matt Stafford and the Rams, they're going to be a possible NFC Championship team. Tennessee Titans, maybe if you could stop Derrick Henry, that's a good thing because that's what they rely on. They're very run-centric, and if you could stop Derrick Henry, you could stop the Titans, but we know how much easier said than done that is. Dolphins, this is a decent one, top to bottom, head to toe. Dolphins roster is amazing, but quarterback position, Tua has his weaknesses, so the Colts might be able to take advantage of that. And then Baltimore, that's when we're going to really need to see how good this Colts defense is. But again, if they could come out of there 3-2, that is a win. I like this Colts team a lot. I think Carson Wentz is going to turn his career around to the nth degree. I think he's going to be just as good as he was in his first few years with Philly. I like this Colts team to win the division. I like them to be the playoffs. I like them to be a dark horse Super Bowl team. I know that's a bold take. That's a hot take, especially when we haven't even seen Carson Wentz with the Colts yet. But I just think this roster is so good. The offensive line is stout. The receiving core is stout. The backfield is great. The quarterback is a big question mark, and he'll determine everything. Obviously, if he's what he was last year, scratch that take 100%. And I'm betting a lot on him turning his career around and Frank Reich getting the absolute best out of him. But I think there's actually a good chance. And of course, another factor is Carson Wentz always getting hurt. That's more likely than not at this point, it seems like. But just parring and pending that he has a healthy season, I think Carson Wentz is going to turn things around. I think this will be a successful team offensively, defensively, and looking at their division, Texans, if Deshaun's not coming back, which it's looking like he won't, they're free falling. The Jaguars are like Trevor Lawrence, but they're 2-3 years away, in my opinion. They got too many new things. They got a new running back, Travis Etienne, new quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, new head coach, Urban Meyer, this Tim Tebow thing. They're just not ready right now. I like the Jags in the future, but right now in the AFC South, to me, it's a two-man race between the Colts and the Titans. And like I said, if you could stop Derrick Henry, you could stop the Titans. And of course, that's easier said than done. But Titans, they lost a little bit. They lost Corey Davis, lost Jonnu Smith. They lost their offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. I think there's some holes opening up for this Colts team to really run away with the division. And this is a division I think you could get away with winning it with 10 to 11 wins. You don't got to go 13-4, 14-3. I think maybe 11 wins might be able to pull off a win in the AFC South. Just with this tough schedule, playing the NFC West, and the Colts, they didn't stop there. They got some tough games. Unfortunately for them, their 17th game of the season as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's unfortunate. They got to play the AFC East and the Buffalo Bills. Between the Bucks, Bills, Rams, Ravens, Seahawks, Dolphins, Titans twice a year, it's a tough schedule. Cardinals, Niners, but like I said, I think the Colts can hold their own. They're not going to sweep all these playoff teams they're going to play, but I think they'll hold their own. And it's going to be a tough season. If they go 10 wins and they don't make the playoffs, I don't think it's a unsuccessful season. Just given the schedule they have, I seriously think they have one of the hardest ones in the NFL. Colts' goal this season for me would just to be, do we have our franchise guy in Carson Wentz? Can he turn things around, and can he be our guy over the next decade? Or do we really need to focus in the next offseason, worry about what quarterback's in the draft, what quarterback's available in free agency, or do we at least know, hey, next year, Carson Wentz is our guy. It wasn't our year this year, but he's our guy moving forward still. We just needed more experience. We needed an easier schedule. We needed one more piece, an extra receiver, one more corner. And I think this Colts team could seriously do it in the future if Carson Wentz is our guy. But I still think this year they can and will make the playoffs. Just too good of an O-line, too good of a backfield, good enough receiving core, good enough quarterback, and too good of a defense, in my opinion. I like this Colts team to make the playoffs, and I like them to win the AFC South. Playoffs, like I said, they could be a dark horse Super Bowl team. I'm not saying they are a Super Bowl team, but a dark horse Super Bowl team wouldn't shock me. As always, guys, I do want to hear your opinions. Do you agree with me thinking the Colts will make the playoffs and winning the AFC South? Maybe you think they won't win the South, but they'll make a wild card spot. Comment your thoughts down below. And of course, question of the day, what is your record prediction? I am predicting right around 11-6, 10-7, anywhere from 10-7 to 12-5. I just think playing the NFC West, AFC East in their 17th game against the Bucks, it's going to be a tough season. So 6-7 wins or losses sounds about right to me. 10-7, 11-6 is my prediction. But again, guys, I want to hear your opinion. I truly do. Comment it down below. And as always, and of course, thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it. Tune in.